Imagine a narrow ribbon of water slicing through Egypt's desert, linking two of the world's greatest seas. A shortcut so powerful it can cut weeks off international shipping routes. A passage that carries billions in global cargo, yet fits within a country the size of Texas. This isn't a fantasy or fiction. This is the Suez Canal, and its story begins thousands of years ago. The dream of connecting the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea is ancient, almost mythical. Long before modern engineering, pharaohs sought to bridge Egypt's north with its east. Around 1850 BCE, during the reign of Pharaoh Senusret III, early attempts were made to link the Nile River to the Red Sea via a series of dug waterways. That early canal was later improved by Pharaoh Neso II and eventually completed under the Persian king Darius I in the 6th century BCE. Known to historians as the Canal of the Pharaohs, this early waterway allowed ships to move between the Nile and the Red Sea, providing a vital trade route for ancient Egypt, Persia, and beyond. Centuries passed, and the canal was lost to time, buried by silt and sand. But in 1798, when Napoleon invaded Egypt, his engineers stumbled upon its ruins. They believed a modern canal might be possible, but early surveys mistakenly concluded the Red Sea was 10 meters higher than the Mediterranean. This miscalculation stalled the idea until new technology and a new visionary came along. Enter Ferdinand de Lesseps, a charismatic French diplomat who convinced Egypt's ruler at the time, Khedive Said, to grant him the rights to build a new canal. In 1854, de Lesseps secured the crucial concession, and by 1858, the Suez Canal Company was founded to take on one of the most ambitious engineering projects of the 19th century. Construction officially began in April 1859. It would last 10 years. The project was colossal, grueling, and controversial. In the early years, forced labor was widely used. Tens of thousands of Egyptian peasants were conscripted, often under brutal conditions. Later, steam-powered dredgers and more modern techniques took over. Despite enormous political and logistical challenges, the project pushed forward. On August 18th, 1869, after a decade of toil, the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea were finally joined. On November 17th of the same year, the Suez Canal was officially opened, celebrated with a grand international ceremony attended by royalty, diplomats, and merchants from around the world. But even though Egypt had built the canal, its control would soon slip away. Egypt's mounting debts forced the government to sell its shares in the canal to Britain in 1875. From then on, the canal fell under joint British-French control, even as it remained geographically within Egypt. It became a key asset of the British Empire, a lifeline to India, Australia, and other colonies. In 1888, the Convention of Constantinople declared the canal a neutral zone, open to ships of all nations in times of peace and war. Yet in practice, British influence dominated for decades. It wasn't until July 26, 1956, that things changed dramatically. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the canal, declaring it the property of the Egyptian people. This bold move triggered the Suez Crisis. Britain, France, and Israel invaded Egypt, seeking to regain control. But under intense international pressure, particularly from the United States and the Soviet Union, the invaders withdrew. Nasser emerged victorious. From that point on, the Suez Canal was fully Egyptian. However, the canal's position made it a target during regional conflicts. In the Six-Day War of 1967 between Egypt and Israel, the canal was closed and remained so for 8 long years. It wasn't until 1975 that it reopened, after extensive clearing of mines and wreckage. Today, the Suez Canal is among the busiest and most important waterways on Earth. It stretches about 193 kilometers or 120 miles from Port Said in the north to the city of Suez in the south. Unlike canals such as Panama, Suez is a sea-level canal. That means it doesn't require locks. Ships can pass straight through. The impact of this shortcut is monumental. Before the Suez Canal, ships sailing from Europe to Asia had to round the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa, a journey that added nearly 7,000 kilometers or 4,300 miles to every trip. Thanks to the Suez Canal, transit time between Europe and Asia was cut by weeks. In recent years, the canal has handled over 20,000 ships annually, averaging more than 55 vessels per day. It accounts for roughly 12% of all global trade. More than 10% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes through the canal. It also facilitates about 22% of global container traffic, making it essential for supply chains across every continent. In 2015, Egypt completed a massive expansion project called the New Suez Canal. This involved digging a second lane along part of the waterway, allowing for two-way traffic and increasing the number of ships that could transit daily. It cost around $8 billion and cut transit time from 18 hours to about 11 for most vessels. The improvements also boosted the canal's capacity from about 49 ships per day to nearly 97. Yet the canal remains vulnerable to disruptions. In March 2021, a massive container ship called the Ever Given ran aground in high winds, blocking the canal for 6 days. That single event caused billions of dollars in global trade delays, showcasing just how dependent the world is on this narrow strip of water. In response, Egypt has continued to invest in the canal's resilience. In December 2024, it completed a new 10-kilometer extension of the Southern Channel, widening and deepening key bottlenecks. This expansion increased the total length of two-way traffic sections to 82 kilometers, allowing an extra 6 to 8 ships per day to pass. But modern geopolitical tensions have also taken their toll. In 2024, a series of Houthi rebel attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea prompted many shipping giants to reroute their vessels around Africa once again. This reduced canal traffic dramatically. By late 2024, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi confirmed that the canal's annual revenue had dropped by around $7 billion due to security concerns in the region. Despite these challenges, the Suez Canal remains a cornerstone of Egypt's economy. Revenue from tolls provides billions in hard currency each year. To maximize its strategic value, Egypt has launched the Suez Canal Economic Zone, an ambitious development project spanning over 460 square kilometers across Port Said, Ismailia, and Suez. This zone is designed to attract foreign investment, offering tax breaks, industrial hubs, and advanced logistics infrastructure. The canal is not just a waterway, it's a national symbol, an economic engine, and a critical node in the global network of trade. It connects east to west, past to future. From Pharaohs to cargo megaships, from sand dunes to satellites, the Suez Canal stands as a testament to vision, resilience, and the global power of connection.